must win in this round to have a shot at the title.
Yeah, that's what they're all thinking, is the fact that somebody's going to get in on points and be one of those. But winning is your guarantee to be racing for a championship.
You got to think, as a driver, that might change your mindset a little bit if you think you have to win. Time for today's pre-race ceremonies from Vegas.
Please rise as you're able, remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Nellis Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome longtime anchor of the Performance Racing Network, Doug Rice.
Let us pray. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And we are glad in it. Glad to be here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and celebrate with the South Point 400. We ask your blessings on all the fans watching on television, listening to the radio, and everyone in the stands, that this day brings you a measure of joy. Protect the drivers and the crews and the participants that make this race possible. We call out for your blessings on all those affected by Hurricane Helene and Milton. Please make their lives whole again. We are grateful for all the blessings we have received, both big and small, and all the ones that we are about to receive. Go with us this day and give us the peace that only you can deliver. These things we ask in Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome lead singer from the United States Navy Band Northwest's popular music group, Passage, Elizabeth Wetzel.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
First spot of the championship four is officially up for grabs. The round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series starts when we come back on NBC Sports.
We're in a venue that is synonymous with big. That's what Vegas is all about, championship opportunities. And what we'll see today in this spectacular venue is someone will let that championship slip through their fingers, but also someone will find it within grasp.
The playoffs have been all about survival for Denny Hamlin. DJ, can he find another level in these next 3 races?
I think he's motivated now. Brad put him in his final 4, so I think that's going to be a plus for him. But what we need to see is the Denny Hamlin and team that won 3 of the first 11 races.
So DJ stood up for Christopher Bell. Steve was barking, saying not enough people are talking about him. Do you agree that not enough people are paying attention to Bell?
Throughout these playoffs, Christopher Bell has averaged a 6th place finish, which is the leader amongst all of these playoff drivers. Absolutely. He is lights out fast, and he will be tough to catch today.
DJ, when a 2-time champion gets new playoff life, what does that mean for the rest of the playoff field and Joey Logano?
Okay, you've let a man in that knows how to get to the front and get a win. Watch a late race restart. Joey Logano's the man to keep your eye on.
Gonna be fun. Who races for a title in 3 weeks in Phoenix? Let's get the engines fired here in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Please welcome UNLV head football coach, Barry Odom.
Las Vegas, welcome to the sports capital of the world. Drivers, start your engine!
You're going to have bad days when competing for a championship, but you've got to find a way to make something out of it. Ryan Blaney, the defending champion, already dealing with adversity. A lap 1 practice crash is sitting to a backup car with no practice whatsoever. All of his competitors are starting in the front. How is he going to make something out of it? We're going to find out. When we come back, we're going green.
Risk-reward is on display more, and you know that's on the minds of those key drivers in the round of 8. NBC Sports welcomes you to the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is the South Point 400. And It's in the low 70s here in Vegas. It is a beautiful day, Marty Snyder, to go racing, especially in the playoffs.
Ali, the round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series. Just 3 chances to earn a seat at the championship table in Phoenix. For 8 teams, a year's worth of work comes down to these next 4 races. And drivers will tell you, other than racing for the title, the race today is the most important of the playoffs. Because if you can win, it buys you an extra 2 weeks to just focus on Championship Sunday. In fact, 3 of the last 6 years, the winner of this race has gone on to win the Cup Series championship. So Dylan Welch, there's a lot riding on the next 400 miles.
And Marty, the 8 drivers that remain with a shot at this championship are maybe the toughest 8 in the history of this playoff format. That leads to high-level competition, and everything has to be perfect. On track, it's in the driver's hands, but in the pits, these pit crews can make a difference, both good and bad. Pressure and how you execute on that pressure extends to every single team member for the next 4 weeks, Cam.
Well, Dylan, just like in City, the Vegas race is one where the stakes are high, but the payoff can be really, really big. The playoff teams, well, they are all in to win today because of that advantage Marty spoke about. An extra 2 weeks to prepare. Every playoff team I talked to said that you have to be as close to perfect as possible. There is nowhere to hide in this round. When we talk this racetrack, though, Tyler Reddick put it best in Countdown to Green. You're on the edge of out of control. Vegas is all about risk versus reward. The round of 8 starts right now.
And last weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the Roval, it was so gripping. It was so tense. Who was in? Who was out? We now know what the answer is. We reset the points. Here we go with the round of 8. Dylan Welch mentioned it earlier, Steve, talking about the quality and the caliber of this 8. They're good. You got to be good to get here. Is this group collectively great?
Well, a city built on gambling. If you're looking for a long shot, you got the wrong group, because there's not a long shot in the group. This is the who's who. The last 4 champions are in this 8. 177 career wins, 22 this year. These 8 drivers all have a pathway forward. They all have the talent and the skill required to get it done.
All right, this place isn't an easy one, right? It's difficult, and especially restarts. Tell us what we should watch for today.
Conviction and commitment. That is Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A high-speed 1.5 miles, turns 1 and 2, has a lot of character. Bumps down bottom, grip up top. You go to turns 3 and 4, the other end of the racetrack, and we're going to see 2 and 3 wide racing. I love this style racetrack. This is kind of quintessential NASCAR. This is it. Your horsepower, your downforce, your strategy, your pit crew, it will all be on display.
All right, let's show you how they line up today as we take a look at the starting grid, brought to you by South Point. And for the 3rd time this year, Christopher Bell and his Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota sits on the pole position, shares that front row with fellow playoff driver in Tyler Reddick. And speaking of playoff drivers, there's another one on the 2nd row. It's Denny Hamlin. Let's see if we can have a chat with Denny. Dial him up, Steve.
Let's see if we can get the 11 on the radio here. Hey, DH, it's Latart and the guys in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, for a sports fan, there's nothing like the postseason, so take me behind the wheel for the athlete. What's it like here in the round of 8?
Well, first of all, it's good to be here. Certainly not the beginning of the playoffs that we planned for, but, we're now in the sweet spot for this 11 team, and certainly believe that we beat some contenders today.
I feel like it is a need win to advance.
I think you still got to manage it smartly. I don't think you can throw just caution to the wind. But, your situation is going to evolve throughout the day. So just managing that, seeing what you got, and then going for it when you need to.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time. I know the fans do. Good luck. We'll be tuning in and watching.
Copy.
Manage that race, as Denny Hamlin says, and how will he manage? And just a pleasure to be here. We've got time to check in on pit road one more time before we go racing here in Vegas. Kick us off, Marty.
Lee, nobody had a more consistent round of 12 than William Byron, who never finished worse than 3rd. His crew chief, Rudy Fugel, told me they no doubt have momentum on the 24 team, and this round sets up very well for them. They've won here at Las Vegas. They've won at Martinsville. And when I asked Fugel about that this morning, he said, you know what that means? We just have to win Miami, the other race in this round, in the round of 8, and they're hoping to parlay this momentum into a 2nd straight championship for berth, Dylan.
Well, Marty, Joey Logano and the 22 team were the beneficiaries of the Alex Bowman disqualification last week. Now they have a chance to race for a championship, and that's bad news for the rest of the field. This group feels very confident about the tracks they'll see the next 3 weeks. And again, while a lot do feel like this race is huge, it is. Crew Chief Paul Wolf says it is not a must-win for the 22 team today. They don't plan to take any huge risks. If the win is on offer, obviously they'll go for it. But good stage points in a top 5 would be all the 22 needs today, Kim.
Well, Chase Elliott was the worst qualifier of the playoff drivers, besides Ryan Blaney, who didn't get to lay down a qualifying lap. He starts in the 18th position, and Chase and the team weren't sure what exactly went wrong during qualifying, but felt like they had a really good car in race time. In fact, crew chief Alan Gustafson told me they're confident enough in the car's pace that they expect to earn stage points in the 1st stage. So what will the biggest challenge be where they're starting? Getting a good read of the car's balance, because Alan said it will drive significantly different deep in traffic. And Marty, all of these playoff drivers, they have to get through the pole sitter, Christopher Bell.
Yeah, and as crew chief Adam Stevens sitting on top of the pit box, you guys won the pole, Adam, but you became the first team to not did select pit stall number 1 after winning the pole this year. Why did you choose pit stall 6?
It's just a nuance of Vegas. You know, we've had the pole here, as you mentioned, a couple times before, and just didn't really have good exits from pit stall 1 and lost spots on pit road, and told myself leaving that I wasn't going to do that again, and here we are with the pole, and we didn't do it.
So let's talk about the playbook today for you as a crew chief. It would seem fairly straightforward, but is it a little more wide open than it would look at from the appearances?
It all depends on how the cautions fall. I think if the race is largely green, it's going to be pretty straightforward, but early stage cautions and late stage cautions can really flip the field.
So we'll see how this strategy works out. An interesting selection on pit road, not taking pit stall number 1, Lee. Again, the first pole sitter this year to not make that move.
And Stevie, what do you make of that choice?
Well, I looked at that, I thought I was a little curious, and then I found out, well, the last 3 winners here in Las Vegas came from pit stall 6. So don't fight the data. Let the data support you. I like Adam Stevens looking for every advantage possible.
And we'll see how that works out for the driver of the 20, the Rheem Toyota, throughout the course of today's 267 laps. Look at this weather we have here for the full race in Vegas. And the Toyota Camry XSE is the official pace car for today's race. The South Point 400, and the honorary pace car driver is Katie Grimes, silver medalist in the 400-meter IM at the Paris Games. We like to do this each and every race where we take you inside the world of one of the teams for a last moment pep talk. Well, it could not have been more tense and more just unpredictable last weekend for these guys, the 22 Logano. They did everything they had to do, and then with the disqualification of Bowman, they're in the round of 8. Let's go inside and let's have a listen.
All right, boys. Back to the next round here. We know what we got to do from here. It's going to have to be perfect. Next 3 races. Good luck in there. Got it. We're ready. Have some fun. Everybody do their job. Execute.
It's a long season, Diff, and drivers, crew chiefs have so many distractions. 28 days, 4 weeks. You have 4 weeks to become a NASCAR champ. For some, like Joey Logano, a multi-time champion would be his 3rd. Let's see if we can get the round started off correctly. The Suns in Vegas. The car made that great move at Darlington, win and get into the playoffs. Well, now they're eliminated, and just even here in Las Vegas, removing equipment on the green flag cycle, and now he's 2 laps down to the field. Big crash. Car around into the wall.
Big crash.
Caution's out. It's Austin Dillon.
It was getting into turn 3. It was, I don't know what started it, but there was contact with another car, and it shot him. Just hung a right. All right.
So you hear him on the radio. The window net's down. He says, I'm all right on the radio, but
It was, you see, we talk about it all the time. That was back there at 27th, and it's fierce racing back there.
17 to go in the stage. To your point, you know, Jeff, you pass a guy, you think he's going to check up and let you into the corner or anything like that. You see contact, but maybe we take for granted just how fast this track is. Look at the damage on the right front of that car. Completely shortened up. Great sign right. Oh, a point. Oh, that looks like he knows something happened. I think Austin Dillon has an opinion on
who did it?
Somebody.
That was big, and here it is. It's the shots in the distance a little bit. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's Daniel Hemrick.
Oh boy, that was a hard hit.
Yeah, that's Daniel Hemrick. They were all racing to try to be the first car 1 lap down, and it was really intense back there. And I'm not sure. You know, Daniel and Austin are buddies. You know, they get along well off the racetrack. I'm sure that wasn't intentional or something more to that story.
Sometimes it's like the hockey fight, Diff.
Yeah.
You kind of got to go back and look at all 64 laps to see if there's something else. Maybe it's just a mistake, Jeff, or maybe it's frustration that builds. It's hard to tell from that angle, but great to see Austin Dillon. It was a big week for Austin Dillon. He owns one of those PBR teams. They were actually out here in Las Vegas as well. I ran into him in one of the hotels. That's all he wanted to talk about. He was excited. He was looking forward to this race, looking forward to the entire weekend. He's going to be very frustrated to know he's the first out.
Carolina Cowboys.
And think about their year. Won Richmond, you know, in that very controversial finish. It was taken away from him in regard to being able to use it to move himself into the playoffs, and had a dominating car and didn't get it done. And that was a major blow to Richard Childress Racing and Austin Dillon.
All right, there's 2 sides to every story. Let's go inside the South Point Chevy to hear Hemrick Radio.
Jesus. I'm watching him. Watch me get in the corner. But drive into the bottom. He's going to miss it. Yeah, 10-4. We'll go over it later. Definitely was back and forth in this MT2.
I was watching him watch me. I don't know. I guess they were racing, and he felt like he went in and blocked. It's hard to say from that, but obviously there's going to be some more conversations. I don't believe this is going to be the last of this.
Yeah, we're here to see it. Entering turn 3. It's just very odd. It's that time of year, though, Diff. You know, I got to tell you, this is the time of year we see these odd things happen. Think about fights on pit road. People get toward the end of the year, and the disappointments of the year are all there. They're all trying to make something happen. None of them are having a great day. They're running 26th, 27th, 28th. Frustrations go high.
All right, we're early on. Stage 1 in Las Vegas. Where are you putting your chips? Are you putting your chips on pit road? I mean, strategy would say come to pit road, get some fresher tires, and run these last, say, 12 to 13 laps.
but it's not the same answer for everyone. The leaders have about 30 laps on their tire. New tires are going to be better. But Blaney, who pitted a little bit later, running 19th, is this a gamble he takes to get track position? So as pit road continues to be closed while they clean up the 3, we're going to have to just wait and see the decisions made by these teams.
You want the stage points or the track position? We'll see.
Yes, IROP.com to learn how we can help you with your business sustainability efforts.
For the short run to the end of the stage, Marty.
Tyler Reddick said the car's not bad. He said, but go back to how it was at the beginning of the race. And Lee, look at that, a number of 2-tire calls here. A lot of people getting track position with that strategy move.
Some big jumps with that 2-tire call. First big caution of the day, Austin Dillon. This is the South Point 400 on NBC. For over 20 years, he won 10 races across trucks and Xfinity. That is Brendan Gaughan. He hosted a celebrity blackjack tournament at the South Point Hotel Casino in Spa. NASCAR Cup Series drivers Daniel Suarez, Daniel Hemrick, Brad Keselowski, Noah Gragson, along with NASCAR legend Ken Schrader. Even a Budweiser Clydesdale joined the final table where over $50,000 was raised for the Speedway Children's Charities. Well done. Great cause, great night. All right, that big hit suffered by Austin Dillon is a different perspective. The onboard from Daniel Hemrick.
See more momentum from Hemrick. Goes to make a move.
This is pretty violent.
That is why I'm up here.
So fast.
Big hit.
Lights are back on the pace car. I thought we were going to come. Oh, no. 43 of Eric Jones. Now, the interesting, this is not going to be good for, there'll be some suspensions and a couple lap penalty right here. Basically, the rule is if you lose the tire on pit road from yellow line to yellow line, it's a small penalty, tail end and longest line. But if you bring the wheel out onto the racetrack for safety reasons, it becomes a multiple lap penalty. And I think that's a great addition to the rule. Their theory is if you drop the jack and you know you have an issue, they want you to stop and not bring the tire onto pit road because, say, if it's on the green, someone hits another tire rolling, it becomes very dangerous for competitors and fans alike.
He was actually the free pass car. So, his first car a lap down and got...
Which is weird because you should... Basically, you say that, Jeff, because you're under penalty to beat tail end anyway, so you can take a 30-second pit stop. It shouldn't be a different. I mean, it's obvious that the wheel didn't get tightened up properly because it came off. And that's what you're thinking, right, Jeff? Yes. Because he's a free pass. So for fans that maybe don't watch as much, free pass means you're the first car one lap down, but they're going to gift you a lap back. You're going to be on the lead lap. So your pit stop, you can go out there, lead. You and I can change the tires. You're not in a big rush, which it makes it even more shocking to see a tire not secured. Not that you and I would be slowly, I just think we'd be slower than these professionals. A little bit of a mix here. We got 2 tires at the front of the field. We'll see if the 2 tires pay off. First car on 4 tires, Reddick. Hamlin right here, running 6, also on 2. Let's see who it pays off for.
Getting ready to come back to green, just 10 to go. To complete stage 1, Martin Truex Jr. The 2 guys who have been pretty much first and second the entire race.
Oh, contact!
Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson.
Pretty good, but on this restart, he's really not going forward. So once he got in traffic, the car did not move forward like it was earlier in the race.
So he's in 18th, fighting Noah Gragson. At the moment, we're on our way home. Final lap, final turn for this man here. He had to fight and scrap and dig deep last week to make it to the round of 8. Tyler Reddick wins stage 1. Huge 10-point bonus there for Reddick and 2311 Racing. What a difference within a 7-day period. Multiple incidents at the Roval, fighting to stay alive. He heads west to coverage. We want to say thanks to Traveller Whiskey, bringing those beautiful shots all day long here in the South Point 400. All right, pit road is about to get ultra busy, and Reddick is at the head of it. Dylan Welch just standing by.
And very first pit stall there, the yellow car, Joey Logano. You believe they're just going to go right sides here. Took 4 tires on the last stop, but slow on the right front, Cam.
As Christopher Bell makes his stop, he said on the long run it gets a little bit free, mainly on the center of the corner. Tight in, though. You see him top, and the 20 car asks for no major adjustments, Marty.
For William Myron, the 2-tire call last time, he said made the car a little bit too tight, so they can make a decent adjustment here for 4 fresh tires for Tyler Reddick. Before that went green, Billy Scott said, we have new tires on, use them up. They won the stage. He said the car was a little bit tight, but manageable. And again, Lee, look at all those 2-tire calls, gaining track position here to start stage 2.
Strategy calls. Good strategy calls, paramount. Stage 1 done. We're gearing up for stage 2. Back in a moment. The official official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring, in-car cameras and radio broadcast. Upgrade to a premium for full access to driver audio channels and a completely ad-free experience. Simply search NASCAR in your app store and download now to start a free trial. What a beautiful day here in Nevada for these NASCAR race fans. It is just beautiful. Now we ride on board Denny Hamlin's Toyota, and speaking of that manufacturer, Toyota is proud to recognize one of their own, President David Wilson, as he embarks upon retirement. This weekend, David celebrates 35 years with TRD, Toyota Racing Development, and leaves behind a legacy both on and off the track.
David's been incredible to work with. What a true professional and a true racer.
Drivers, start your engine!
His approach, his professionalism, his commitment, I think he's just been a great ally. David's been such a crucial part of the inception of 2311 and my dream to start my team.
It's just incredible what he's doing for all the young drivers out there, given opportunities that no other manufacturer did.
And to have someone that cares so much about the sport, about how the vehicles perform every single weekend, he has had a huge impact on the racing world.
David Wilson is an amazing human being, and I'm very thankful to be able to say that I've known him and grown the ladder with him.
And people like David Wilson are the difference makers. Manufacturers will always be involved in racing, but it's people like David who make the difference. And we wish him well and say thanks so much. There are problems at the 5 camp. Kim Kuhn, what's the latest?
Yeah, a little hiccup. Take a listen to the radio of the 5 team.
We've got a big piece of aluminum stuck in our nose. We are going to go ahead and pit. We're going to get the aluminum out of our nose, and we're going to patch the nose.
So you heard that right there. A piece of aluminum in the nose. A little hiccup for this team. With Daniel cheerleading his driver, Kyle Larson, saying we still can make a great race out of it. It just goes to show you anything can happen. This team has had bad races for the initial race of each round. They're hoping to be able to rebound here this afternoon.
And there it is, Cliff Daniels just having a look at that debris. Earlier this year in the spring race, his teammate, William Byron, had a plastic bag across the grill. Temperatures spiked up to 350, and that cost him. So just a little hiccup, extra little challenge for Kyle Larson.
Well, many other penalties on pit road as well. The 34, the 16, the 23, the 99, all with penalties on pit road.
We saw an Xfinity team yesterday from Junior Motorsports.
You really need to have a couple good corners. And that's what Joey Logano. He is flying on this restart.
Oh, look out! Elliott's gone. Keselowski, Reddick, 2 playoff drivers in this wreck. And the car goes over. Tyler Reddick has flipped.
Yep, I'm good.
My goodness, what was the catalyst? How did that start?
Restarts. They are so aggressive. You've got to get spots when you can. How about Reddick flips and drives the thing back to pit road? Oh, that's a bad sign right there, Steve.
Yeah, I believe it's the left front that has the issue. Let's check it out, Diff.
So Reddick is up high. We'll look at the 45, the Jumpman car. There's contact. Contact maybe with Truex and Elliott. That was the spark.
It is. Truex and Elliott side by side. I don't know if it's contact or just arrow tight, but the 9 of Elliott up the racetrack, not meaning to, catches the 45. Around goes the 45, and as the 45 gets in here, he hops onto the quarter mile. He gets upside down. Crazy looking accident for Tyler Reddick in the 45.
Ah, that is crazy.
Listen to this.
Contact, it just looks like to me, Truex is up the racetrack. Then the 45 goes over that.
Yeah, the quarter mile track.
Yeah, the quarter mile track, and when he hits that, it just rolls it.
And then he drove it back to the pit stall. The left front upright, I believe, is broken on the 45, so he's done, which you would imagine after a wreck like this.
See Brad Keselowski at it.
Chase Elliott's view.
You hear him out of the gas, right? So either contact, arrow tight combination. Chase Elliott knows he's in trouble. But at 170 miles an hour, you know, you're going to cover a tremendous amount of distance. And you see him up the racetrack, 45 trying to go by. You ask why the 45's there, because if you don't fill those holes, you will never move forward in these races. And it just runs out of rail state, exit of turn 4.
Something crazy going on behind this is the 12 car. I looked up and he was spinning out off of turn 4 after the caution. And then he...
Wow, what's happening?
I don't know.
Marty, you got more on this?
Digging into what's going on with the 12, but it looks like they're replacing the right rear toe link is what they're doing, and that is confirmed. That's what they're doing here on the 12. We'll find out a little bit more about that. And yes, Steve, Tyler Reddick is done. This team rallied at the Roval to be able to make the round of 8, did everything right in stage 1, won that stage, but but it goes quickly awry here in stage 2. We'll talk to Tyler Reddick here in just a moment. For the record, he said on the radio, I thought the hole was there. It wasn't. It closed so quickly.
Well, and it's easy for him to say now it wasn't, but I like the move that Reddick was going for. I think you have to fill those holes. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. For the 12, it's hard to see, but right behind the right front tire, it looks like there's a little scuff on the number 2. I don't know if that's a wall or another driver. Also above the right rear, right where the helmet are of the workers, I see a little scuff, so I don't know if he touched the wall or another car, and that's what broke the toe link, I assume, Marty?
Yeah, Steve, it was the wall. He made contact with the wall, I'm assuming just to avoid all of what was going on in front of him, but that was contact with the wall for Ryan Blaney. That's what broke the right rear toe link.
Yeah, so he was behind that wreck, you know, and these are split second. We're going to make it look really easy because it'll be in slow motion and replay, but I'm sure it happens a little bit quicker. But here you go, Jeff. Take me on board, see what happens.
Watch the 6 car. Boom. There it is. It just takes evasive action.
Yep. So now, let's review the rules. There's a damaged vehicle policy. This has been in a lot of conversation about getting back your pit road. Blamey drove it back under his own power, but he's still on the clock. He has 7 minutes to do the repairs. That's total time on pit road. There's approved parts that you're allowed to change. This toe link issue for the 12 is an approved repair. It's much what Reddick repaired a week ago at the Roval and continue to bounce back. So if you're a Blaney fan, you're still okay. Reddick survived last week. Blaney still has a chance. How about the 9, Kim, with Chase Elliott?
Yeah, Chase Elliott on pit road a second time. He felt like something was broke, really bowed out, said he got hit the hardest the right front. They checked the first time he was down.
Вот в небе танцует мои слова. Я творю свой мир, ломаю устои. Без танца не сломлюсь, я воин идей. В моем сердце огонь, в глазах яркий свет. Я иду напролом сквозь терник к звездам. Он the grind, мой девиз, мой путь неустанный. On the grind, я качаю биты. Мои рифмы снаряды летят сквозь лимиты. Я творец своей судьбы, я во власти этих слов. On the grind, я меняю мир, ломая устои. On the grind, я меняю мир, ломая устои. Не ищу легких путей, не боюсь преград. Я иду к своей цели, как танк, не взирая на трудности. Это лишь ступени вверх. On the grind, я взлетаю, как птица света вперед. Я художник своей жизни, пишу свой сюжет. Каждый день это новый виток, новый взлет. Не боюсь ошибок, я учусь на лету. On the grind, я расту, становлюсь сильнее. On the grind, я качаю биты. Мои рифмы снаряды летят сквозь лимиты. Я творец своей судьбы, я во власти этих слов. On the grind, я меняю мир, ломая устои. On the grind, я качаю биты. Мои рифмы снаряды летят сквозь лимиты. Я творец своей судьбы, я во власти этих слов. On the grind, я меняю мир, ломая устои. On the grind, я веду до конца. Моя жизнь это пламя, моя душа песня.
Pit road. They didn't see anything, so brought it back down. They told Chase we don't see anything on the right front that looks bent. So right now, checking again because Chase said it just does not feel right.
Costly crash for 3 playoff drivers. Reddick the worst, Blaney and Elliott.
And that's the thing about these playoffs. We can talk about who the fastest are. We can talk about who has the best races, but we have zero idea what's going to happen in regard to this type of stuff. It's so competitive. You have to be pushing. You have to be trying to get all that you can. And when you're pushing that hard, you're going to step over the bounds every now and then.
The champ is back out on track. Blaney back out. Here goes Elliott. And think about Tyler Reddick. The standout 2 drivers today have been Bell and Reddick, and he knew that Bell was going for it. Bell was on a charge, and Reddick saw that opportunity. As Marty mentioned, he said on the radio, I saw that gap, I thought I could go for it. And it was just 3 into a tight spot at big speed.
Surprised pit road was open. I thought 73 laps would be the gamble. I think people are going to try to make it on fuel. The leaders decided to stay out, though. We'll have to just see how this stage progresses.
Let's talk more Ryan Blaney. He's coming back in, Marty.
Yeah, they have the right rear fixed, and then Jonathan Hassler told Ryan Blaney on the radio it should be locked down in the rear. He said, nope, the rear is moving everywhere. So this time they're going to look at the left rear of this 12 car. He also said the steering wheel very much pointed to the left, Jeff. So they not only have fixed the right rear toe link, now they got to work on the left rear toe link, but they also clearly have a steering issue behind the wheel of the 12.
Well, you hope that it is a toe link, because if it's a lower control arm, up control arm, or upright, those are not changeable or repairable.
2 laps down, Blaney.
Ryan Blaney's having a day like Tyler Reddick had last weekend. There's Reddick up on the wall. Multi-car accident, 3 playoff drivers involved here in Vegas. So that pretty wild crash that's put us under this most recent caution happened right in front of Brad Doherty and Dale Jarrett. Guys, what did you see? What did you make of it?
You know, I was just making a comment, DJ, about the first stage was so clean and there was so much room on the racetrack for everyone to race. I just don't see how this happens, DJ. I mean, these guys are going there just trying to make lap time, and how does this happen with so much room on the racetrack?
That's because you're running 180 miles an hour, and everybody's trying to get as much as they can on these restarts. They know that's their opportunity. Scary right here. You know, there's no reason we shouldn't have grass at these places. Everybody's talked about it. The drivers have talked about it. But thankfully, he's okay. But we're going to see more of that as we get ready for another restart.
And again, if you're just joining us, Tyler Reddick, that car that flipped, that rolled, Reddick is okay. He's out of the car. Got it back to the pits, but he is out of this race. He had to fight so hard to make the round of 8, and he led 10 laps of this race here in Las Vegas, but unfortunately is out. We're ready to keep going in stage 2.
Yeah, the 8 of Kyle Busch does not get going in the outside lane. That white and light blue car really backed up about row 5 or 6. Lead 2, so there's Denny, there's the leader. Now running some really great laps, fastest car on the track. Now you would imagine fresh tires are going to help the 11, and we are only maybe 5, 7, 8 laps away from another wave of green flag stops.
Here's Alex Bowman. Marty, coming your way.
Yeah, you guys mentioned it's been a very solid day for Alex Bowman. It really has not been outside the top 10 all day long. Car just a little bit too free on corner exit for Bowman, hoping to show up here after they got eliminated from the playoffs last week. Who knows? They might be able to win the race here in Vegas today.
What a day it's been for this man here, Christopher Bell. 73 laps led. He's come close to winning here before.
Alex Bowman's pit stop is going to get the attention of some more front runners. Nobody was too concerned about Hamlin, who pitted from the back, but the front runners, Dylan, are now in.
That's right, Joey Logano on the screen. First pit stall off of turn number 4. Just said his balance was freeing up. They'll change 4 tires at Sunoco Fuel. Martin Truex Jr. as well has been battling some handling gremlins all day, but they've stabilized inside the top 10, so still a decent day going for the 19.
So Bowman was the trigger for these two to come in, and we'll watch Bell. When does he decide? Here comes Ross Chastain, Ty Gibbs, William Byron. Here they come, Dylan.
And Ross Chastain will be the first one to hit his marks for Trackhouse Racing. They've worked on his race car all day long with every stop as well. He said we were about halfway better on the adjustments they made from the last stop. They'll change 4 tires fuel as well, Marty.
Dylan, unlike his teammate Denny Hamlin, William Byron, actually Ty Gibbs was able to make the 2 tires work. He said it took great to retreat from the 54. Meanwhile, William Byron did tell Rudy Fugle he's made the car much better, but it was too free at the end of the run, and he just a little bit more at the end on pace.
And with these playoff drivers that are active, that are on the lead lap, and that are leading like Christopher Bell, time to maximize with the likes of Reddick out. Elliott off track in the garage area. Here comes Christopher Bell.
I love that onboard. Just shows how busy they are to get on the pit row. And then we'll see Bell just takes his left hand, sets it on the bottom of the wheel. Nice and relaxed for Christopher Bell. Penalty for the 1 and the 54. Ty Gibbs and Ross Chastain both get a speeding ticket. They'll have to do a pass-through.
Kim?
And Christopher Bell reporting tick 3 mid-corner. He said it's loose on both ends, not just through the buttons. You see the chassis adjustment. Adam Stevens looked at you and asked if he was loose enough to be tightened up. He said yes. Ride quality too, he said, was just a little rough as they take tires, that adjustment, and fuel.
Even multiple years in, the speed of these pit stops just amaze me how efficient and quick they are. No room for error at all. As we see the 5 of Kyle Larson now pit from the lead, Kim.
Yeah, and that hiccup earlier, that aluminum in the grill seems very minor compared to some of the other playoff issues we've seen since then. Right now, Kyle's car, not too bad. He said I'm a little bit on the Tiger side of neutral, but I have great balance and clean air. No major adjustments. They're going to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires and Sunoco Fuel on the 5 car. As they're having a bit of an issue on the left front, that lug not wanting to come off. So this is becoming a disastrous stop after I talked about that earlier hiccup not being a big deal for Kyle Larson.
This is a lengthy stop. This is going to hurt big time.
Yeah, so they dropped the right side too quickly before they were able to pull up the right side, right rear tire. We'll get back and give you another whole look at that. It took forever. As you see behind him, the of Chastain, the 54 of Gibbs serving their penalties, but that was a 10, 12, 15 second longer than normal pit stop. So let's take a look completely. All right, right side. We're going to jack the right side up, right side tires off, right side tire on. The jack's dropped while he's still tightening it, waving his hands. Tire carrier knows it's not tight. They go to the left side, want to know where the orchestration is, what's going wrong. So that slows down the left side. Then there's communication to go back and tighten up the right rear. Now Larson is peeling off the banking. He's coming back down to pit road. So I believe that Cliff Daniels feels that there's another issue. Disaster for the playoff drivers so far today, half of them. Now Kyle Larson, a second pit stop on this wave. Kim, coming to tighten wheels?
I believe so. Haven't heard specifically.
Well, let's see, Kim, if they jack up this right side or left side.
Left rear.
Left rear, Kim. So another issue on the left rear of the 5. A lot to untangle, but
the list grows. Reddick, Elliott, Blaney, add Larson to it now.
Pressure of the playoffs,
oh my
Kim.
goodness.
It's not just drivers, it's pit crews, it's everyone. I was just talking about how amazingly fast the pit stops look, and it just leaves no room, right? Like the 5 car was barely a hiccup on the right rear, but the jackman's leaving, and it's kind of like in football when you're on a slant route, right? It happens so fast that if the timing's off, the whole play is busted up, and that's how fast these pit stops are. 27 seconds on that original pit stop, plus a second stop.
Bell said, I'm honored to be fighting Kyle Larson in the round of 8 and hopefully in the championship round of 4.
It sounds like the 11 made there. Yeah, he overshot his pit box. Chris Gabehart was screaming back up, back up, back up. So it is just continuing to go from bad to worse here for the 11.
Yeah, he didn't overshoot, Dylan. He just, first of all, he stopped very short, surprisingly again, and then they must have had an issue on the left rear. So let's take a look. Once again, short, 4, 5, 6 feet short of his mark. Very on Denny Hamlin-like. Good on the right side. They come to the left side. Pit crew doing okay. Tire up, left rear tire on, jack down, left rear not tight. Luckily for the 11, he didn't take the loose wheel onto the racetrack.
It has been a hugely, highly eventful day for the playoff drivers. Denny Hamlin, short stops in his box. That was the earlier stop. That wasn't the most recent one. Tyler Reddick in the first stage got maximum points. Today was looking fantastic for the 45.
Yeah, a little bit of damage to the nose of the 5, some aluminum in it. No big deal. They came down, they made some repairs, but it gave him bad track position. Then this, the big wreck.
This is the moment you're terrified of as a playoff driver. 3 of them in this. Tyler Reddick rolls over on the front straightaway. And his day is over. Elliott, he's 26 laps down.
Had to come to the garage. And this is Ryan Blaney. Look there, right closest to camera. Wounded, the 12. And he sits some 7 laps down.
And then absolute disaster on pit road for the 5 car. Trouble on the right side. It carries over trouble to the left side. They come back to the right side, tighten up the wheel. Then they had to come back in and tighten up or change the left rear. Cliff Daniels' stress level is peaking. And then the 11, once again, struggles to get to his mark, which hurts the pit stop. But that's not really an excuse for them not being able to get the left rear tire on, which happens here. They drop the jack. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chris Gabehart says they back up. Tighten the left rear back up.
Remember after the Kansas race, Denny Hamlin was so frustrated with this pit crew. That's not getting better today.
Watching with an eager eye, Brad, DJ. We thought today was going to be eventful. Maybe not this eventful, though, especially for the playoff drivers.
You know, DJ, you said it best earlier today. We were talking about, is this a must-win race and so forth and so on. You look at the playoff points today, now all of a sudden, you said it best earlier, you don't want to go to next week having to win a race because you're running out of time. That's exactly what has happened to some of these playoff guys.
Yeah, and Joey Logano's sitting there saying, for the second week in a row, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate the opportunity here. Yeah, I watch this, guys, and I'm not Vince Lombardi, but all I can think of is a quote from him that said, what the hell is going on out here?
Dylan, what do you got?
Well, we just heard a little pep talk from Chris Gabehart to his driver, Denny Hamlin. Take a listen.
Obviously, we've had him everywhere, of course. The only thing you can do better in here is make sure you're hitting your sign. Stopped a little short that time, a little bit before. That's not why the left rear is loose. Still got lots of laps to go in this race. Stay positive. We're going to drive up to there.
Well, he's the cheerleader. That's what you got to be when you're on top of the box.
I love how he did it right there as we ride on board the Coca-Cola can with Denny Hamlin. Take a look at the driver. Hey, that's not why it's loose, but you could help. The of Alex Bowman is up to the second position and rolling. So let's kind of set the stage. We have 24 cars on the lead lap. It's an uncomfortable run from the last caution to the finish on fuel for all of them. I believe some can make it. Some are short. It's the approach that I'm not sure we really know about. From what I see out of this 48 and what I'm reading on the radio, they're not sure the tires want to run 70 laps, and they're looking for the all-out push. push. So I think what you're going to see right here is the 48 run as hard as possible and then just pit anyway. I think there's going to be a wave of cars that pit halfway in this run right now. And what they're going to try to do, Marty, is put fresh tires on it, increase the pace, and push the drivers who are trying to save fuel.
Steve, this is going to be interesting. A top 5 car pitting. Chris Buescher coming down pit road. They're going to put on 4 fresh Goodyear tires and have fuel certainly to make it to the end. And to your point about Alex Bowman, yes, a moment ago, Blake Harris told him, hey, the guys in front of us, they're trying to save. We are not trying to save. Go as fast as you can, Dylan.
Pit stops continuing. Mark Truex Jr. pits from inside the top 5. Said we were worse this run. I was drifting through 3 and 4. 4 tires of fuel, another air pressure adjustment, Kim.
And Kyle Larson's going to make his way down the road. Richard Daniels told Kyle, beginning of this run, everybody is outside the fuel window. You need to plan for one more stop. This team has 2 sets of sticker tires left compared to most of the field. They're going to put 4 fresh Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel in that machine for Kyle Larson.
What a determined effort from both driver and team to get back on the lead lap and to just keep climbing, keep digging.
Now Adam Stevens, the crew chief for the 20, has got to make a decision. Are you running to the finish? Or decision made. Pit this time. We heard the live radio from the 20. Marty.
Here comes Alex Bowman down pit road. They're going to pit for the fuel they need and tires as well. So Steve, it seems to be opening up here. Now that Bell is going to make his move. What do you do if you're Rudy Fugle? He told me a moment ago, we're close. We're about 2 laps short.
I think at this point you race the 20. You see the 20 on the bottom of your screen coming to pit road. The 24 will assume the lead. I think if you're Rudy Fugle with the situation you have in points right now, you're racing playoff drivers. Kim.
So Adam Stevens and this Christopher Bell team, their hand was forced by other cars stopping. He's going to make a stop. He said just got a little bit tighter this run. Don't expect any major changes, though, from Bell, as they will take tires and put fuel.
And we'll wait and watch the Byron call. Last stop for the 20. What a day it's been. 154 laps led by Christopher Bell. He's released.
I believe the 20's going to lose a position to the 48 anyway. I don't know how.
Marty.
So the answer is Rudy Fugle brought William Byron to pit road. He asked him how the handling was. He said it's still the same, just a little bit too free. The short run has been their strength all day long. We'll see a recycle down if we can take advantage of that.
Top of the screen, this will be the race for the win if this is the right strategy. And let me capitalize and bold if. The 99 on the racetrack. How about Logano and Hamlin? 2 playoff drivers that have had unbelievable weeks. Logano in due to penalty. Logano went up and down day on pit road. Can a fuel strategy win be the difference maker for Logano and Hamlin? A lot of laps to go, but it's going to be interesting to see. As you see some damage on the 41 laps. I take that back, Jeff. Maybe they can make up 30 or 26 seconds.
I think the other key, like, put yourself in Joey Logano's shoes, right? He cannot afford to run out of gas. And he is racing in these playoffs, Steve. So even if he gives up spots here, going a little slower than you want him to, you still can't run out of gas. He can't push too hard.
You've got this fascinating blend of strategies involving the playoff drivers, Logano, Hamlin, Bell, Byron, and Larson.
And you see the difference on pace, right? 99 runs the bottom, the one goes right by. That's newer tires, right? The one of Ross Chastain has come to pit road. He's unlapping himself. So that's to give you an idea of just kind of depth of pace. When we say 1 second faster, what does that look like? Well, it looks like that. The one car completely out of the screen on the 99.
And Joey Logano, he is one of the very best at saving fuel. If I need
27 to go from this point. We keep looking at that gap from Suarez, the leader, to Christopher Bell, who has been the standout car all day. It's now down to 21.6 seconds. It was 26 seconds not that long ago.
What's 21 seconds look like? Let's show you basically Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You see on the bottom right there, 99 is the leader. The 20 is trying to catch. He's trying to go all the way around this way, trying to catch the 99. It looks like forever, but at 1 second a lap, you see he's more than a half a lap down. We'll come back in 6, 7, or 8 laps, and I bet he is a half a lap down or less. The 20 really making time. I love that map. That really shows you. So as a crew chief, this is how you visualize almost like the circle or the clock. You look at the racetrack itself as just distance.
These are the situations right here that you got to make this pass quickly. Right? Oh, see that little bit of hold up, like 0.3 of a second, something like that can be the difference in catching him or not.
Well, I mentioned Denny Hamlin, who's running third. Let's take a listen to see what they're saying on fuel. In a different manner. A lot of mathematical guessing on the last 23 laps of how they're going to kind of pick up. We hear about these teams' war rooms. I can assure you both the 99 and the 20 know that predictive software I just told you about. We'll see if it works. And if you're Bell, just like we heard Hamlin, you're now hearing Bell say, hey, if you want to catch him, we need more pace. So
we cannot waste any time. We should get here with 3 or 4 to go.
We cannot waste any time. Let's go.
So their software where it tells him 3 or 4 to go. So now Adam Stevens, because you don't want to get all done, and Bell's saying, well, I didn't know it was going to be that close. He goes, no, it's going to be this close. You got to go. We should catch him, but we got to go.
16.4 seconds. It was at 26 seconds when we started logging it. There's Adam Stevens.
Adam Stevens, just so much experience.
Think about when he was an engineer, worked with Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, as crew chief. So many great drivers and characters, and he knows all about pressure situations.
It's pretty clear for Christopher Bell what he needs to do. Just make lap time. But for Suarez and Logano, and I think Logano...
We have the 99. Let's see compared to the 20. Start-finish line's a pretty good way. The 20 was over about a 3/4 of a lap down. 20 at the start-finish. Now, definitely less than a half a lap. So he is making up big chunks on the 20.
13.25
on the 99, yes.
Keep watching
for that lap. 16 to go. 11 seconds back.
So let's look at the difference, right? You see the 20 kind of out of the gas a little bit, but look right back at wide open throttle. His top speed's going to be probably north of 190 miles an hour, even to use a little bit of brake. You look at Suarez, he's running about a second slower. He's just off the throttle longer, so it's not like it's part throttle. I'm talking up here, right? He's still wide open down the straightaways. Rolls out, though, no brake being used. You look at the 20 at the bottom of the screen. When he drives down to turn 3, see if he uses a little brake. Just to set the nose, Jeff, like just a little drag of the brake. Yeah, right, I mean, just a little, but some.
Very little.
That was too much for Gabehart, though. He wanted no brake.
So 31.70 for Suarez, 30.80 for Christopher Bell, 9/10 of a second.
And the gap under 10 seconds, 9.8. He has brought that from some 30 seconds behind. We started tracking it at 26 seconds.
Now, what we don't know is how much has the 99 saved.
Yeah, that's right.
He might have some more speed left in that car.
Also playing the same game, John Hunter Nemechek, who runs 4th. As Suarez.
Look at the 20. Look what's in front of him. He's got to get by these cars quickly. His pace will come down as he catches all these cars. Almost a second faster that lap.
8.8 seconds.
Oh, getting a little help right here.
13 to go.
That was weird. I thought he could have just jumped to the outside of him, but he was on the bottom.
That's Nemechek. And another one off his list.
That ate up some time, though. Let's see what that lap time was.
This is over a 60-lap run. That's going to make the difference for the 20 car.
Dylan, what you got?
Just giving updates on the 22 for Logano, listening to Paul Wolf, the crew chief, and Coleman Presley, who also has all kinds of data up on top of the spotter stand. They feel like that it's probably inevitable that Bell gets them, so their instruction now, try to run hard here, and then after the 20 gets by us, we'll manage then. But then Paul just came back on the radio and said, well, if he hits traffic, he may not get to us. So the gap is shrinking between Logano and Suarez, the leader. So I think their plan now is to try to go up here and maybe race for the lead and just hope that Bell doesn't get to him.
What's the question mark? Every equation has a variable. In racing, and in this specific instance, the variable is traffic. You can predict all you want, but as long as there's a variable inside the equation, you really don't know the answer.
Christopher Bell is just hung up in all sorts of traffic right here. I mean, his pace came down by 4/10 of a second for 3 laps in a row.
He's going to fight his teammate Denny Hamlin, fellow playoff driver. Hamlin's third, there he is. Bell should make quick work of this, and does. All right, that's Bell now up to third. 6.6 seconds in arrears.
And look at the other gap. Logano is under a second. I know the 20's in traffic, but I believe the 22 can get the 99 on raw speed. 9 laps to go. A lot to be answered. Playoff drivers second, third, and fourth.
Can you imagine if Joey Logano won this race after last week? Look at that. Look at that. Joey Logano is the last into the round of 8. Joey Logano wins Las Vegas. He's going to Phoenix. That's what 2-time Cup champions do. They rise to the occasion. A week ago, he was out. He was back in on Sunday night. And here in Las Vegas,
everyone freak out.
Is confirmed into the Championship 4. Congratulations, Team Penske, Joey Logano. Incredible.
Last week. Hell yeah.
What a race. That was something special. Paul Wolf and your team, congrats.
The discipline by Joey Logano to understand with directions from Paul Wolf how fast to go over that extended amount of time, and Christopher Bell to be within a half a second of him. Think about that. Think about how that has to be timed out. It couldn't have been done any better.
He started the playoffs with a victory and now confirms his way to Phoenix in the Championship 4. Joey Logano wins the South Point 400. Marty Snyder is right there on the spot. He's walking over to the 22. Marty, that is the epitome of never give up, no matter what the circumstances are.
Welcome to the championship for Joey Logano and Team Penske. Very familiar surroundings for them, winning in Las Vegas. Joey showing why he's one of the most clutch drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. Paul Wolfe showing why he is one of the best strategists on pit road. They didn't have the fastest car, but that didn't matter because Logano's going to race for a championship in Phoenix. How intense was that final run behind the wheel, Joey?
And we did some fuel mileage stuff, don't we? Holy cow.
Yes, you can.
What the incredible turn of events here last week. What a very fast Pennzoil Mustang. And we got the Joe Kids crew here today, and a lot of kids rooting us on, so it's really special to win in front of them again. Hey, to my kids at home, I wish you guys were out here, but we're going to the Championship 4 again. I don't know what the deal's with the even year thing, but maybe it's real. But thanks to the fans out here. Thanks to Crouch Shades Engines for making great fuel mileage. Great calls by Paul. Nick Hensley, our gas man, making sure she's full. Giving me the good info I need to save fuel and keep the lead that we needed to. And boy, we're going racing again. What an incredible situation, man. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, take me behind the wheel. How disciplined did you have to be during that run, saving fuel, keeping pace, and knowing the 20 was catching you very fast?
Coleman up there in the spotter stand working with Paul and our engineer Shaggy and Joe back at home. Everybody does a good job at just feeding the info that I needed. You got to go the right pace to make sure you get in front of the 99, but not, get to where the 20 was going to catch me. And so just an incredible day. Like I said, it takes the whole team to do the fuel mileage stuff. It's not just the engine or the engineers or the driver or the spotter. It takes all of us together to do it. So total team win. We may not have been the fastest car today, but we were a solid top 5 car and being able to maximize it at the end.
They found a way once again. Joey Logano in the championship 4. And Kim, Lee mentioned it. They've done this twice before. Both times they won the first race in the round of 8. They won the title.
Yeah, Marty, elation for Joey Logano. On the flip side of that, complete disappointment for Christopher Bell. Comes up one spot short from locking himself into the championship 4. I heard the frustration peg there on the radio at the end of the race. How do you come to terms with how that race played out?
I don't know. And I don't think I've come to terms yet. So, I don't know. Just a bummer. I think everyone on this team did everything perfect today. This thing was obviously on rails. Big Crew did an amazing job. Adam called a great race. Did everything we needed to put this Ream camera in victory lane, and unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be today.
2 years in a row, you've seen disappointment right here at this racetrack, but then rebounded. Last year, you found a spot in the championship 4, winning in this round. How do you use this to fuel you next weekend at Homestead?
It's a whole new race next week. This track means nothing for next week, and fortunately, we were able to go and win in Homestead, but nothing's guaranteed. Just because I ran second today doesn't mean that I'm going to finish, anywhere next week. So, I think the points look pretty good, which is a positive, but you're never safe in this deal. So, we needed to win today, and unfortunately we didn't. We'll go on to the next one.
A very strong day for Christopher Bell and this team, but ultimately just a huge disappointment how it played out for them.
In life and in sport, you get opportunities, and then you got to capitalize on those opportunities. And Joey Logano is living proof of that. Last week out, then in. Today, a winner and has a shot at a 3rd NASCAR Cup Series championship. Can you believe what we just saw here in Vegas? Diligence, patience, execution, key ingredients in getting this man